Hi guys, I'm Dr. Stephanie K. Johnson. I am a professor of management at the University of Colorado in Boulder's Leeds School of Business, and I want to talk with you about ways that leaders can create a more inclusive environment where everyone feels like they belong as part of a cohesive team, even though you're all separated and working virtually in this COVID-19 world. In Inclusify, I talk about the two most basic human needs: uniqueness and belonging. And if we as leaders can understand these, we can ensure that all members of our team feel included. So the first need is uniqueness. It is the desire to be valued as your unique self and for your unique perspective. If you don't see this as a basic human need, think of a time when you personally had to cover or you had to bite your tongue because you had an unpopular opinion. When you had that feeling, it probably wasn't a good feeling. And you can imagine that many individuals and organizations feel that they can't show their unique self. On the other hand, people have an intense desire to belong, to be accepted as part of the group. And if you don't believe that is an essential human need, just think back to any time in your life when you didn't feel like you belonged, when you felt left out, ostracized, or excluded. For most people, those are pretty terrible memories. And many individuals and organizations feel that way all the time. So the trick is for leaders to ensure that all members of the team understand that they are a unique and essential member of the team, and they all belong together as a group. Of course, there's an inherent tension between these two things, uniqueness and belonging. You can imagine that building cohesion and a tight-knit group is a lot easier when everyone's the same. On the flip side, if everyone wants to be valued for their individuality, you can do that, but then it's hard to bring people together as a team. So the trick is finding the way to master both of these. When you lack uniqueness and belonging, most people feel invisible. Oftentimes we look at invisibility among workers who are like shift workers, so they're working at night, or cleaning people who might not get the attention of those around them. But in fact, many women and women of color feel invisible in the workplace every day. They don't feel seen or acknowledged or valued. If you have the belonging piece, but you don't have uniqueness, you kind of feel incomplete. And so that's a situation where you might fit in, but only because you're faking it. And if that's the case, you might feel like you fit in, or it might appear you fit in, but you never feel truly included because you're not being yourself. If you are doing you are just your unique self in every way, and even when your views are unpopular, you share them. You might have uniqueness, but not the belonging piece. And in that case, you might feel insular, which is isolated and alone. You're happy that you can be yourself, but not happy that you're not accepted for that person. And what happens in all of these cases is that individuals who don't experience uniqueness and belonging are more likely to quit their organization and a lot less likely to want to give their unique perspective. The trick is to get to that fourth box where you feel included because you have uniqueness and belonging. If you've loved this film and you want to know more information about how to create an inclusive team environment in this COVID-19 time, I want to offer a few suggestions and resources. So first, there's an Inclusify game that can help leaders engage in that empathy and find out what people are experiencing during this COVID-19 time. It's the Inclusify COVID game, and I'm happy to share that with you. You can get it on my website or just send me an email. Also, if you're curious about your natural inclination of, do you tend to be really good at uniqueness or belonging or both or neither, you can take a quiz at inclusifyer.com and find out what your natural style is. It is fast and it's free, and it tells you your style immediately. You don't have to put in your email address or anything. And then it provides you prescriptive advice as a leader that is tailored to your natural style. If you want to know more about Inclusify, you can buy the book at harpercollins.com or really anywhere that books are sold starting June 2nd. And then finally, if you just want more tools and advice about how to increase diversity, more films like this on my research, you can go to drstephjohnson.com. There's lots of things to download, stuff about the book and just other stuff that leaders can use to create more diverse and inclusive workplaces.